This is the Eastern Business Report, where we look at the business ecosystem in the Eastern region and discuss topics affecting the region's economy. But first, let's take a look at some of the major business and development stories making headlines across the Southeast, beginning here in Enugu State, where the Aviation Workers Union have rejected the federal government's concession of the Enugu Airport, describing the process as insensitive, opaque, and exclusionary, warning that industrial action may follow if the decision is not reversed. The unions, the Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, the National Union of Air Transport Employees, and the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals made their position known in a joint letter sent to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. Recall that last week the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, signed the agreement document for the concession of the airport, prompting the pushback from the workers. However, the ministry was silent on the tenure of the concession, a situation that had raised concerns from unions and some experts in the industry. The unions alleged that workers' representatives on the concession committee were sidelined during the final stage of the process, thereby excluding labor from deliberation on key employment and welfare-related issues. According to them, necessary labor provisions that ought to have been embedded in the contract were ignored, despite earlier expectations that a separate agreement addressing workers' interests would be concluded with the unions. Therefore, they accused the authorities of conducting the process without transparency, warning that the development had already triggered discontent among aviation workers nationwide. Moving to Anambra State, where the lawmakers of the Anambra State House of Assembly have thrown their weight behind the state government's directive for the Onitsha main market traders to jettison the sit-at-home order every Monday initiated by the non-state actors, saying that the state loses 19.6 billion naira every Monday, thereby backing the decision of Governor Chukwuma Soludo to close down the market for a week. John Bosco Akwa Ibom, the minority leader representing Enugu South 1 constituency, said that the sit-at-home directive had disrupted economic and social activities across the state for years, as he moved a motion calling on Anambra State residents to discontinue the Monday sit-at-home forthwith. Akwa Ibom said the region loses approximately 88.08 billion naira every Monday, adding that the small and medium enterprises sector bore the heaviest burden, accounting for roughly 60% of total financial losses, as a macro business loses an estimated 4.6 trillion naira annually due to recurring closure, while transporters lost between 10 billion naira to 13 billion daily. Lawmakers said that the enforced inactivity had led to 20% decline in annual effective workdays and a 35% decline in business productivity of the public and labor sector. Now from Abia State, the Abia State government has said the time has come to put an industrial policy in place, one that will drive the state industrial development. The State Commissioner for Information, Akanu, disclosed these while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the week's Executive Council meeting held on Monday and chaired by the state governor, Alex Oti. Kanu explained that consequently, a new industrial policy put together with a very conducive ease of doing business environment will help attract investors and development to the state, as such an industrial policy will help the state to market its potential while strengthening its comparative advantage in various areas of resource availability and management. He also disclosed that in line with the ongoing urban renewal and transformation initiative of the state government, the state government has initiated an address and infrastructure program that is aimed at enhancing street naming, house numbering, and geo-reference addressing that would ensure order and economic growth of the state for easy identification of structures. Still from Abia State, where the Abia Power, Nigeria's newest electricity distribution company, DISCO, has resumed full electricity supply to its customers after an interruption in gas supply to its embedded power generation company. The 188 megawatt geometric power Abia Limited in the Osisioma industrial layout, Ugo, The Abia Power Managing Director confirmed the restoration in a statement signed by the utility senior communication and brand manager Ikong. The statement revealed that the disruption started at 2 p.m. on Monday, January 26th, when Hess Energy, which provides gas from operating mining lease OML 17, noticed a technical issue and had to cease supply to resolve it immediately. The statement regretted inconveniences that its customers suffered due to unavailability of gas, noting that the company sourced electricity from the national grid to bridge the gap during the period so that electricity supply to major manufacturing firms could be sustained. However, the entire nation was to experience a total blackout from 10 a.m. on Tuesday, January 27th, following a full system collapse, but with the Abia Power resumption of supply in the afternoon on Tuesday. Moreover, according to engineer Cliff Ene, a former senior manager with the defunct National Electricity Power Authority, who used to work for the Texas Power and Light Utility in the United States, Abia is the only place in the whole Nigerian Federation to enjoy power supply right now. Now from Akwa Ibom State, the Akwa Ibom State government has rolled out a 1.34 billion naira women empowerment and civic engagement drive in Abia local government area, commissioning oil processing facilities and launching the Women Arise sensitization tour across the state. The Deputy Governor, Senator Akanu Ibiam, who represented the Governor in the commission the Nigeria for Women project, oil processing mile at Abia, one of 11 such facilities now spread across all wards in the local government area. Akanu disclosed that the state had released 890 million naira as startup capital to women livelihood collectives and approved an additional 450 million naira for immediate expansion of the project to other local government area. She said each processing mile has the capacity to produce about 8 drums daily, adding that the product already have access to export markets, making the initiative commercially viable and sustainable. According to her, the project aligns with the administration's bottom-up development agenda, which prioritizes rural development, poverty reduction, and women's economic inclusion. The Deputy Governor also pledged government support for security at the Abia facility, including round-the-clock surveillance, and said requests for access, road, and improved lighting will be conveyed to the governor. Moving to Edo State is set to gain clarity on its oil and gas entitlements as the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Physical Commission has vowed to apply fairness, equity, and justice in resolving long-standing dispute over the location of oil and gas wells affecting the state and other producers. The assurance came from the chairman of the commission, Dr. Mohammed Shehu, during a briefing on the ongoing verification and plotting of coordinates for disputed and newly drilled oil and gas wells, a process that directly determines states eligible for the constitutionally guaranteed 13% derivation fund. The outcome is expected to have significant physical implications for Edo, particularly the allocation of revenue from crude oil and gas production. Dr. Shehu said the Commission would act as an impartial arbiter, stressing that no state would be favored in the process, as it urged Edo and other affected states to actively participate in the coordinated plotting exercise to ensure transparency and broad acceptance of the final outcome. Finally, but still from Edo State, the Edo State government has restated its commitment to promoting clean, affordable, and sustainable energy as it joined the global community to mark World Clean Energy Day in Benin City. Speaking at an event held at the annex of the Edo State Library, the Commissioner for Science and Technology said the observance underscores the vital role of renewable energy in driving development, protecting the environment, and improving quality of life. He explained that the theme Clean Energy for All, Simplifying Access highlights the need to make clean energy solutions accessible, affordable, and practical, particularly in developing regions. According to him, the event serves as a platform to raise awareness about renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydro, and bioenergy, while encouraging governments, the private sector, sector and communities to transition away from fossil fuel, noting that access to clean energy remains a key driver of economic growth, improved healthcare, quality education, and technological advancement. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll bring you the report from our correspondent. Please stay with us.